Hello my friends and welcome to the channel. Fantastic to see you here. Now I'm going to be reviewing this fully sick pre-work container. That's not really what you're here to learn about. You're here to learn about whether it works, how it works, and what the ingredients are in it and what they do. So that's what I'm going to tell you about. First thing though, what do the reviews say about it? Well, I don't like, if there was only say 10 reviews on it, I would just completely ignore that. But the fact that there is actually 214 reviews online for this product makes those reviews worth actually listening to. Now the average score for those reviews, 214 reviews, average is 4.6 stars out of 5, which is pretty good. I've got to say, obviously not everyone's going to like every product. That's pretty much impossible. I don't think I've ever seen any product get 5 stars from everyone if it's got more than 100 reviews. It just doesn't seem to happen. So the market is saying good product, but what do I think? Well, I'll tell you. But before I do, when should you actually take this? Well, I recommend you take a pre-workout, usually, depending on the pre-workout, around about 30 minutes before you actually work out. Now, with this particular product, 30 minutes is what the manufacturer says, but I would say any time between 30 to 40 minutes before your workout would be the right time. Now, should you take it on an empty stomach? Yes, it will definitely work better. In fact, every single pre-workout on the market will work better if you have an empty stomach. I mean, obviously being completely empty is virtually impossible, but really you want to have this, I would say, no more than or no less than an hour and a half after a meal. Really, ideally, 2 to 3 hours would be even better. So smash some of this down, say 2.5 hours after you've eaten, do your workout, go home, have a protein drink, have a big meal. That would be the ideal scenario. Now, Faction Labs actually say, they claim that you'll start to, I'm going to quote here, you will start to experience the full performance enhancing effects of Faction Labs disorder within the first 2 weeks of use. And that is just straight bullshit. Because unless you're not taking vitamin C or B12, which it has those in here, which, yeah, you would feel some positive effects long-term from those. You're going to feel instant effects. I don't know why they've written that. You're going to feel the effects probably within around about 15 minutes of taking it, as long as your stomach is fairly empty. Now, if you've just had a massive protein drink or a big meal and then you take it, it's going to take longer and you're definitely not going to, your body's just definitely not going to absorb as much of this product as you would otherwise. Now, one of the things that's in this product, which I think is definitely valuable and that all pre-workouts should have, is Piperine or berberine. It's basically an extract from black pepper that enables you to actually absorb the products that you're consuming much better. So it's sort of like, let's say you buy a container of protein. If you buy one in it with berberine, or for example, if you buy a pre-workout with berberine in it, you probably get better value for money, probably 20% better value for money, because you're definitely going to absorb more of the nutrients in the product. Now, so berberine or piperine is a really good product for that reason. That is in here. If you take 1 scoop of this, I'm going to go off all these guidelines. I'm going to tell you what's in 1 scoop, because 2 scoops has 500 milligrams of caffeine. And if you need 500 milligrams of caffeine, you're pretty much fucked because you are stim junkied out. You need to go off caffeine for a week, get yourself back to kind of an equilibrium. So let's just go off 1 scoop, which is 250 milligrams of anhydrous caffeine. And I'm going to tell you what the ingredients are for 1 scoop. So in every scoop, you get 3 grams or 3,000 milligrams of citrulline malate. That is by far the largest quantity of any ingredient in this product. So what does citrulline malate actually do? There's been a number of studies that show that a dose of around about 3 grams, which is what's in here, of citrulline malate can potentially give you more energy and reduce fatigue in the gym. I won't go into the specific details, but a lot of people say that they have felt a difference. Now, it may also promote healthier blood vessels and lower blood pressure. It is possible, though, citrulline malate can actually cause stomach upset or heartburn if you have a sensitive stomach, but this is pretty rare. I'd say about 1 in 100 people have this issue with citrulline malate. But if you're taking a pre-workout, you're wondering why you've got some pain in your stomach, have a look at the ingredients, see if that's one of them. And if you're one of these extremely rare cases, that could be the reason for it. Now, citrulline malate actually does take a little while to work in the body. Some users notice results in about 3 to 5 days whereas others take a couple of weeks. So maybe the blurb for this product was talking about the results of citrulline malate, which would be true, but that's only for one ingredient. There's a lot of ingredients in this product. So second only to citrulline malate is beta-alanine. Now there's 1.6 grams per scoop of beta-alanine in this product, a lot more than the third largest ingredient. So beta-alanine is actually a naturally occurring beta amino acid, and it actually occurs naturally in the body, but your body doesn't make a whole lot of it. So studies have shown that it can actually improve your athletic performance and building lean muscle mass in younger adults, and can improve physical performance in high intensity exercise specifically. So if you're doing high intensity exercise, beta-alanine can actually definitely improve your energy levels. Now, when I say this, it probably sounds like marketing, but there's quite a few videos online of bodybuilders being asked a question, where do you think you get the most energy from? And very frequently, a lot of them say beta-alanine, not caffeine. So that's interesting. Now, the next largest ingredient in here is L-Tyrosine. Now, what does L-Tyrosine actually do? It works a bit differently to what we've been talking about previously, because it actually improves alertness, attention, and focus, and that's why it's in here. Now, apparently tyrosine can actually produce important brain chemicals that can help nerve cells to communicate, and that may improve your mood. In very rare cases, people have experienced nausea and headache and even heartburn from L-tyrosine, but it's extremely rare. I think less than 1 in 1,000 cases. So L-tyrosine is 250 milligrams per scoop, the same amount as what we see in this product of caffeine anhydrous. There's 250 milligrams per scoop of caffeine anhydrous. That's quite a lot if you've never taken a pre-workout before. If you've never taken a pre-workout before, I would start with half a scoop. Give that a few days as you get used to the caffeine. Otherwise, you probably will feel quite stimulated. Now, obviously, if you're a stim junkie and you're not getting a result from 250 milligrams, then I recommend you stop using caffeine for a little while. Or you could do the opposite and you could double the dose, which is not a good long-term idea in my opinion, but it does work. It would give you more energy. 250 milligrams is definitely enough for the average person. I weigh about 94 kilos and it's enough for me for sure. Now next up, there is 120 milligrams of alpha GPC. Now alpha GPC actually facilitates the increase in the release of the neurotransmitter acetylcholine, and it facilitates learning and memory. Now in athletes, alpha GPC can prevent exercise-induced reductions in choline levels and increase endurance performance and even growth hormone secretion. So alpha GPC actually has lots of benefits, and it's something that I definitely recommend taking, considering those benefits. Actually, I think those benefits long-term are probably better than every other ingredient we've spoken so far. The next ingredient in the list is L-theanine. And apparently L-theanine can actually give you better mental focus, improve sleep, increased cognitive performance, and it can boost your immune system. So that's a few. There's a few other things that people claim that L-theanine will do. Sounds like it's a bit of a miracle product. I'm not sure that it will do everything that people say it will. Maybe it depends on the individual, depends on how much you're already getting, depends on how much your body reacts to this product, but it's definitely a positive product. There's no real side effects to it. So putting that in there, I think was a good move. Now, theobromine is actually a naturally occurring compound found in cacao plants and tea leaves. And it originated in the tropical rainforests of the Americas in times of Mayan and Aztec civilizations. And they considered it a food of the gods, because theo means God and broma means food. So, God food. Here are the pros and cons quickly. Proponents, the pros: supports cognition, better thinking, improves your sleep quality, may lower your blood pressure, enhances lung function. That's where the energy comes from. Now, the cons: it's not well studied in humans. It may increase your heart rate, although some people believe that's actually happening from the caffeine, not the theobromine. And it may cause nausea and potentially loss of appetite. Now, theobromine actually blocks phosphodiesterase enzymes and increases the activity of a messenger called CAMP. This messenger activates an enzyme called pKa, which reduces inflammation and causes the widening of blood vessels and increases stimulation. Now, theobromine also blocks adenosine receptors, which usually trigger hormones such as norepinephrine that can increase blood pressure, and it increases the speed the brain responds to signals such as increased heart rate. Now, some studies claim that theobromine can cause blood pressure reduction, which is obviously a good thing for a lot of people. And it does this by widening the blood vessels and stimulating urination. It's like a mild diuretic. Now, in a study of 84 healthy patients, theobromine significantly lowered blood pressure at doses between 250 and 1,000 milligrams. Now, there's a lot less than that in here, but you still will find that it will have some effects. Now, some people claim that theobromine actually can affect you a little bit like caffeine and give you more energy. Now, whether that's true, I'm not actually certain. Now, L-Norvaline has been falsely claimed to actually increase muscle size. And this is because it's an analog of valine, so many people think it contributes to muscle growth, which is actually wrong. L-Norvaline is not used by the body to create muscle tissue, but just because it doesn't contribute directly doesn't mean L-Norvaline is useless for growth. It actually isn't. By extending pump length and intensity, L-Norvaline provides muscle tissue with massive amounts of oxygen and nutrients, including other amino acids. Now, a lot of people say that while you'll notice the extra power during workouts from L-Norvaline, this extended pump has also been shown to drastically reduce soreness and post-exercise recovery time. Now, the next ingredient is Hordurine. Hordurine is similar in chemical structure to stimulants found in bitter orange. Some research shows that it might stimulate the central nervous system and increase heart rate, blood pressure, and breathing rate. These effects are fairly short-lived. Now, Hordurine is actually taken as a nootropic, and people in the industry claim that it increases alertness and it's a stimulant. Now, apparently it's so effective that it's actually banned in horse racing. Now, this is what it does. It stimulates heart function, constricts your blood vessels, and relaxes bronchioles, making it a performance-enhancing drug for horses. And of course, therefore it is for you as well. Now, Hordurine can increase the effect of norepinephrine by inhibiting MAO-B, or MAO-B, which breaks it down. So increasing levels of Hordurine can have a definite stimulatory effect. Now, there's also 15 milligrams of Synephrine. What does Synephrine do? Well, there's been a number of animal studies on Synephrine, and it's shown that in these animal studies, when the animals took it, they increased the breakdown of glucose and glycogen in the liver of rats and mice. What it did was it prevented the conversion of sugars into fats in mice, and it increased the amount of ATP available to power chemical reactions in the liver. Another benefit was that it increased glucose consumption in muscle by stimulating AMPK, which is an enzyme that senses fuel levels in cells and stimulates the burning of fats. It also increases the intake of sugar into cells. Now, other effects include anti-inflammatory activity, oxidative stress. It can reduce the oxidative stress on the body, and it can also block enzymes that are harmful in causing Alzheimer's disease. Now, the final ingredient is vitamin B12. You all know what that does. I'm not going to go on about that. But if you're not getting enough vitamin B12, you will definitely notice a difference in your energy levels when you start getting enough. So, do I recommend this product? Well, yeah, I definitely do. I mean, for $60, around about 60 Australian dollars, you're paying, for around about $60, you're paying just over $1 per serve. And if you think about it, if you're going to get all of those benefits for just over $1, it makes quite a lot of sense, to be frank. I'm not even trying to sell this. I'm selling it to myself just by doing all the research about what is actually in this product. Pretty good. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.